Welcome back. We really do appreciate you joining us this week here on America's Retirement Headquarters, the home of the Retirement Guys formula, and America's Medicare Associates with Nolan Baker and Dave Ross. 419-794-3030 is the phone number. That's 419-794-3030. Online, arhq.com. Don't forget previous editions of the show. If you missed the first half or you just want to catch up on older episodes or topics in general, just search for America's Retirement Headquarters wherever you consume your media. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. All they're available for you to check out at your leisure. Again, America's Retirement Headquarters. Now, you've told us time and time again about the benefits of annuities that offer guaranteed income for life. But can you give us some examples of how annuities can solve some rather tricky financial problems?
Absolutely. You know, we talk a lot about the independent income system, and we talk a lot about retirement team action plans. Well, the cornerstone of both of those systems is, where are you getting your reliable income from in retirement? And so the most common sources that people think of for reliable income are pensions, which are kind of starting to disappear a little bit across the board, Social Security, most definitely. And then a lot of people are taking their accumulated savings in their 401k and other retirement sources and using them to buy annuities. Well, an annuity is basically a payment of principal and interest that's guaranteed to last a lifetime. So when a client turns on an income, they know what they're going to get. They know exactly what they're going to receive every month or every year for the rest of their life. You talk about some tricky financial situations. What if you are a investor who wants reliable income, but you also are interested in helping out a charitable cause or a charitable institution? Well, in some cases, you can set up an annuity, and it can work one of two ways. You set up the annuity, and the income from that annuity could either come to you, or it could be paid to a charitable institution. So you could dictate where that income, where you want it to go. Another situation that I've done a little bit of work on is where a person wants to buy an annuity, and they're looking for income for a certain period of time. And so let's say they want to receive payments for 10 years on the annuity. At the end of the 10th year, if whatever that annuity is paying, that money then would be earmarked and sent to the charity or the charitable institution of the client's choosing. And those are sometimes discussed in the estate planning world as a charitable lead trust or a charitable remainder trust. But sometimes you can set that up and not necessarily even have to have a trust. You just are dictating that you want the income to go to a certain group or charity. So reliable income is the cornerstone, but there are things that you can do that would be willing to help, that you could help out any kind of a civic group or charity that you feel strongly about, and annuities can have a dual purpose in those types of situations.
Yeah, a couple great examples of where annuities can solve some of the tricky financial problems that are out there. I'll give you a couple of examples of some folks that we worked with. So I have somebody that came in a couple of years ago. They were getting ready to retire, and they wanted to try to have a little bit more of a protection in their overall plan. At that time, there was an interest rate risk that was in the bond fund market. What we had taken a look at is removing and eliminating that interest rate risk that was in their portfolio by reducing and eliminating some of the bond funds that they owned in their 401k plan, moving that money over into a fixed index annuity. So it allowed them the ability to, have some principal protection against that part of the portfolio, but allowed them to still participate if and when the market went up, which of course it has over the last couple of years. Was able to solve that. Something else that's really common, I know, Dave, you run into this as well. We work with a lot of police, fire, and teachers. And, one of the options that group of people have is the ability to take what is called a lump sum pension distribution. And that's kind of the million-dollar question. So recently I had somebody who came into the office, and we'll just call her Tanya, for example. And so Tanya was getting ready to retire, and she had exactly that question. Do I take the monthly payout and get paid a monthly income? If so, do I take it just for my life? Do I take it for a period certain of number of years? Or do I take a survivorship option? Or do I take the lump sum or some portion of it in a lump sum payment? And those are, irrevocable decisions, and it can be a tricky question to ask in figuring it out. I also had somebody who recently came in who unfortunately lost their spouse who they had taken the monthly payout annuity from the company for single life. Unfortunately, he passed away, so there's no surviving benefit. Well, like in Tanya's example, she kind of wanted to have, I would call it, the best of both worlds, meaning she didn't necessarily want to give up access to all of that principal, but she still wanted to have an enjoyable income. Usually, if you take the payout of the annuity from the company, it's normal that the income is going to be the highest level of income because they get to keep the principal balance. But in this case, what you can do is you can take that lump sum of America, lump sum money, and we can go out to the insurance companies of America, and we can get competing offers on what the payout rate would be. And by doing so, what Tanya does is she has this lump sum of money that's in an account. Now it's in her name, so it's a bucket of money that's going to provide her a steady income stream in retirement time. And then maybe as she gets older in life, she could always shop out those annuity rates and possibly get, a pay raise in the future. If, God forbid, she passes away early, her named beneficiary could be a spouse, children, or charity, is going to get whatever money's left in that account paid out, through a named beneficiary. Or as something comes up in life, depending upon, again, what the withdrawal provisions are of the annuity, you got to pay attention to those and, take in consideration like surrender charges and the pros and cons. But, she had the ability where she could pull a little bit more money out of the annuity. She had a year where maybe she achieved more than what her goal was, and she wanted to take an extra trip or vacation. That makes it possible by, maintaining control of that financial asset where, had she just taken the monthly payout from the company and called up one month and say, hey, I want to take a vacation, I need a little bit more, the company would say, well, just no, save up the money for a couple of months and that's how it's going to be. But having control and ownership over that asset in her situation, could prove to be a beneficial option as well. So when you're looking at it and you're thinking about the pros and cons of an annuity, just know here, sitting at the table, you've got 50 years of experience of two guys that have done annuities for quite some time, working with seniors and retirees, and those baby boomers getting ready to retire. And if you're trying to figure out, what's the pros and cons, and we want to walk you through how it fits into your plan, just give us a call, ask us for that retirement team action plan, and we can share whether it's a good solution or not in your situation.
Because at the end of the day, there's no one-size-fits-all product or strategy. Annuities aren't necessarily going to be right for everybody out there, and it certainly doesn't need to be the entirety of your retirement plan, but exploring those options, figuring out what it is you want to achieve, and if it could be, be open-minded about it. They will inform you if they believe it is something that could work for you as part of that retirement team action plan. So the number to start that conversation and see if it could address some of your retirement concerns, 419-794-3030, or go into the website, set up a time there as well. That is arhq.com.